All right, so taking a look at example 2, we're trying to think about building a garden. Sherry designed her garden as shown in the diagram above. The distance between any two consecutive vertical grid lines is 1 foot. So basically they're saying that this is considered 1 foot in reality. And the distance between any two consecutive horizontal lines is also 1 foot. So anything up here, anything down here, it's basically a 1 by 1 garden in real life. Therefore, each grid square has an area of 1 square foot. After designing the garden, Sherry decided to build the garden 75% of the size represented in the diagram. So first off, we want to know what's the outside dimensions shown in the blueprint. So that means we need to count how many these boxes are and how many that is going to be. So I'm just going to let you know right now, there's 26 units here, and there are going to be 12 units here. So if they're letting us know that the length is 26 units, that means that in real life it is 26 feet. And then if the width is considered 12 units, that's going to correspond to 12 feet. So that's the dimensions of this blueprint right here. Now, what will the overall dimensions be in the actual garden? Write an equation to find the dimensions. How does the problem relate to the scale factor? So they said that Sherry decided to build the garden 75% of the size represented in the diagram. So basically, she wants 75% of each of these numbers here. So if my length is 26, and I want to find out what 75% of this 26 is going to be, these numbers here would be considered our whole. So doing 75% times 26, that's going to turn into 0.75 times 26, which should equal to 19.5 feet. So this is my equation right here. To find my width, same exact thing. If they're letting us know that it's 12 feet in real life, we want to find out what 75% of that 12 feet is going to be. So 0.75 times 12, that's going to equal to 9 feet. So that means in the actual garden, it is going to be 19.5 feet by 9 feet. All right, flipping it over to number C. If Sherry plans to use a wire fence to divide each section of the garden, how much fence does she need? So that means you need to take a look back at your original photo. She wants to build a fence around everything, the lettuce, the pepper, squash, green beans, etc., etc. So what we need to do is count up all of these different boxes of units here. That would be our perimeter. So there's 26 here. There's 26 here, there's 26 here, and there's 26 here. So that means I need to account for 4 of these 26 units. So 26 times 4. So I'm going to do this problem up here so you can clearly see where I'm getting my numbers from. So one more time, 26 here, 26 here, 26 here, and 26 up here. I have my 12 units for this side here, as well as this side here. So I'm going to do plus 12 times 2. Now, I've dealt with everything on the outside as well as this one right here, but I still need to deal with this here, and this right here. So I'm going to count it all up. I have half. So let's count my whole units first. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I have 2 halves here. So that's going to equal to 9. So I have 9 units here and 9 units here. So I'm going to add 2 of my 9 units. And the last thing I have to think about is this one right inside of here. And if I count all that up, it's actually equal to 14. So that means for part C, what I would do is 26 times 4 plus 12 times 2 plus 9 times 2 plus 14. If you do all that math in your calculator, it should be equal to 160 feet. So that means in reality, you need 160 feet of wire. In reality, you need 160 feet of wire. But in the question, they're saying that she only wants to use 75% of whatever this is. So that means that I'm just going to take this 160, and that is going to be my whole, because that's my original. Using percent as 75%, I'm trying to figure out what my part is going to be equal to. So that means P equals to 75% times 160. Change that 0.75. That should be equal to 120. All right, last part. They're letting us know is that if the fence costs $325 per foot plus a 7% sales tax, how much would that fence cost in total? So this should be a little bit of review of what you guys did before. So for 1 foot, it equals to $3.25. So if I have 120 feet, to get from 1 to 120 times 120, if you're going to do something on one side of the equation, you better do it to the other side as well. So 325 times 120 should equal to $3.90, or sorry, $390. So that means for the fence, it's going to cost $390, but you want to add an additional 7% sales tax to this. So remember, part, percent, and whole. Our whole is going to be $390. Our sales tax is 7%, but if you want to find out what 7% of 390 is and then add it back on later, that's fine. But what you could do is take 100%, which is our 390, add 7% to that. Once you're done calculating it, you'll get the number that you need in the end. So P equals to 107% times 390. Change that 107 to 1.07 times 390. That's going to equal to $417.30. So that means you are going to be paying $417.30 for this entire fence in total.